Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Ashley Rogers of Homes by Ashley, and this is another episode of Wine Wednesday. Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday. It's your girl, Ashley Rogers, again here of Homes by Ashley, your favorite Michigan realtor. And I'd like to welcome you all again to another episode of Wine Wednesday. And I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I took a little bit of a hiatus. It's part of being an entrepreneur where sometimes you have to take a step back from some things to get some other things in order and everything. So I'm so happy to be back. I'm happy that you guys have been staying tuned and staying a part of this wonderful journey of mine. And also on this journey of me helping you all just ease into the whole idea of real estate, whether you're buying, selling, or investing. That's what your girl Ashley is here for. So speaking of which, we are now officially in the spring season. And one of the big barriers that we've obviously had to deal with in every single real estate market nationwide is the lack of inventory. The good thing about spring is that new inventory tends to come out. A lot of people like to wait throughout the winter and the holiday seasons to try and get their homes prepared to be put onto the market. So God willing, we will have some more things coming into the market, some more homes nationwide, so that you buyers out there will be able to take advantage of that. And so that being said, tonight, what I want to talk to you guys about is the buying process, the home buying process, and what it takes to really get there and get into the home of your dreams. So without further ado, let's go ahead and cheers and get started. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you really need for preparing to purchase a home. So obviously the first thing is to make sure that you have your finances in order. And I always say, make sure that you go to a lender. Talk to your mortgage person, talk to a lender, and kind of let them give you an insight on where your finances are, because you will need to know things such as your debt to income ratio, and of course, how much house that you can approve or that you will be pre-approved for, how much house you can afford. So that's pretty much your first step. Your first step, obviously, is contacting me as your realtor. Don't forget that, if you're in Michigan at least. The next step is to definitely get a pre-approval. So what exactly do I mean when I say getting pre-approved? What I mean by that is going to a lender, and you can shop around to different lenders to see where you stand and what the rates are that you will be charged, et cetera, et cetera. But you want to make sure that you go to a lender and see how much you actually get pre-approved for. Now, your lender is going to take a look at the things that you have going on in your finances, how long you've been employed, again, your debt to income ratio, and ultimately just telling you how much house you can afford. And you really want to know that information before you go into looking at places, because you don't want to be that person that gets pre-approved for, let's say, $250,000, but then you got your heart set on a $7 million house that you just saw. It's a really big extreme, but definitely you want to make sure that you don't get your hopes and dreams burst by looking at things that you unfortunately can't afford at that time. So definitely get that pre-approval. And a little side note about pre-approvals is that they are good for 90 days. So within that time frame of 90 days, your hope is to find the perfect home, be able to move into it, and ultimately close, all that kind of stuff. So that's really what you want to do. But the first step is to certainly get pre-approved. So what's your next step? The next step, after you've teamed up with your realtor and everything, me, after you've teamed up with your realtor, the next thing that you want to do is start really looking into the things that are important for you in your home. Know your wants, know your needs, but ultimately you want to know what your needs are. You want to really understand what you absolutely have to have in your home. If you know that you're a person that has transitioned from working a 9-to-5 to working at home, maybe you need an extra bedroom so that you can dedicate that strictly to your office space, and that's something that is very important to you. Or you need to have a detached garage versus an attached garage, just things like that. But make sure that when you're looking at things, you're focusing on the things that you actually need, what's most important to you. The wants can come later, but you really want to focus on the needs and the important things that you want in your home. So once you start your search, you're going to start taking into consideration those qualities of what it is that you're looking for. And then that's when you're going to start actually looking at homes, visiting homes, touring homes, going to some open houses, just really, really honing in on the things that you want. So that's going to be your next step that you do. The next thing that comes into that process is making an offer. So you've been searching all this time with your realtor. You find the perfect home that you want. It has everything that you could possibly dream of. You have the finances ready. You're ready to put in an offer. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this particular market, we're in the seller's market right now. So there's a lot of buyers out there that are going to be competing, but you want to make sure that your offer you're putting in is your highest and best offer. Don't go in with something like, okay, we're going to go at the actual price of the home unless there aren't any other offers on the home. And then you have all these other list of things that you need the seller to do prior to that. Unfortunately, in this kind of market, your offer will probably get denied if you have a lot of stipulations and complications with it, because there's not a lot of inventory and many buyers, supply and demand. So that comes with making your offer. And if you have a really good realtor, they should be able to make your highest and help you figure out what your highest and best offer is and make it as competitive as possible. That's going to be your next step. So what's the next step after that? You make an offer, your offer gets accepted. You're now officially under contract. When you're under contract for this home, some of the things that you're going to need are definitely your deposit. So your earnest money deposit, this is kind of what I equate to what an engagement ring kind of is. It's really showing the seller that you really want this home. So you're going to have to put some skin in the game. So that's your earnest money deposit. On top of that, obviously, this is when you're going to start going through the financial processes with your lenders. There's going to be the underwriters that are going to get the loan process and everything done. So that's where that's going to start at that point right there. So what comes after that? Inspections. This is one of the most important steps in the home buying process. I will never tell any of my clients to not go through with an inspection, even if it's a new construction home, because even new construction homes may have some things that you may not see that need to be fixed, but an actual trained inspector will know what to do. Had to take a sip for that one, because inspections can be very, very stressful. That's when you're really going to start seeing some things underneath the home, in the foundation of the home, maybe the backyard, septic tanks, things like that. I can go into detail about inspections later in another video. That's one of the things I'm going to be talking about later in another episode. But just know that you do need to get an inspection done. And that is usually done within the first few days of you going under contract. The quicker you can get that done, even better. So you're going to get the inspection report back from the inspectors. And then you're going to go through it and make sure everything is the way that you want it to be. You may have some repairs that you might want to at that time request that the seller takes care of before you actually move into the house or before you actually close on the property. But either way, inspections are very, very important. Do not skip that step, ladies and gentlemen. Do not. You do not want to do that, because the last thing that you want is for you to move into the house and then some other things start coming up, and then now you got to shoot yourself in the foot and fix it all and come out of some extra money after you've already come out of some money to put a down payment on the house and everything like that. So just don't skip on that step. Make sure you do that. So what's next? The next thing is the financing period. This is when your lender is going to get the appraisal done. So your lender is the one that's going to order the appraisal. And the appraiser is going to go to the house, and what they're going to do is take a look at the house thoroughly, and they're going to compare it to other homes that are in a short distance that have recently sold, some of them that may be listing as well. But the idea is for the appraiser, or not even the idea, the actual job of the appraiser is to determine the true market value of the home at that particular time. And they're going to get some comparables so that they can compare the subject home to other properties that are in the area. They really want to take a look at how this home's value is going to be shaping up from some of the other ones. This house may have some upgrades that other homes didn't have, and that can affect the market value, and vice versa. 9 times out of 10, the majority of the comparables are going to be pretty much the same with a few differences, but you ultimately want to get that appraisal done so you know how much the home is worth. It's one of two ways that an appraisal can go. Either the house can appraise at the actual value of the home or the actual price of the home. It can appraise below it, which you obviously don't want. And sometimes it can appraise above it. So I take that back and say 3 different things that can happen rather than 2. Obviously, you want the home to appraise either at the purchase price or even above the purchase price, because if it's above, that means you have some equity to the home, which is great. If it appraises below, you might have a little bit of an issue with going forward, but another video for another day. So that is your next step. The next step, after all of the financing has gone through, after the underwriters have approved the loan, you get that happy email. And this is a happy email for not just your realtor, but yourself. It's called the clear to close. Best email you could possibly get. When you have the clear to close, that is your financing company saying, hey, you're at the home stretch. This house is yours. Everything is good on our end. You've been financed. Everything is good to go. You are clear to go ahead and sign those final closing documents and get the keys to those homes. It's a whole celebration with that. If you've ever gone through the home buying process or even selling, getting that clear to close email is one of the best things that you could possibly get. So that's the next step. And then the final thing, the final glorious moment is closing day. You have your final walkthrough of the home to make sure everything is the way that you want. Typically, you want to do that a day or 2 before your actual closing day. And then on closing day is when you're going to sign all of your closing documents. You get those keys and you officially become a homeowner. And it's, like I said, a huge celebration. I always get gifts for my clients and everything. And we just make it into a whole happy dance, because that's literally what it is. It's really a wonderful opportunity, and it's beautiful. It's a whole beautiful moment. There's so many happy moments that I've seen that happen with closing days, and it's a beautiful thing that you have when you become a homeowner. So other than that, I just wanted to briefly give you guys just a little bit of an overview on the process of buying a home. That's very important. You want to know that because you want to be ready when this market does have more inventory coming out. The rates for the interest rates for mortgages are still very low, so buyers do not lose hope. I know that it's been crazy out here. Some of you as buyers probably have experienced some tears, having your offer denied over and over, losing out on a home because of other offers, going against hundreds of offers, even in some markets, from what I've been told. So it can definitely be a very emotional roller coaster, but just keep the faith and just keep pushing, you guys. There will be more inventory coming out. So this really is for my buyers out there. Don't lose hope, and just know that you can become a homeowner even in a seller's market. So do not feel that it can't happen. It will happen. Just make sure you have everything ready, because when the spring is officially in full bloom, you'll be ready. So that being said, I want to give you guys another cheers, and thank you once again for joining me for this other episode of Wine Wednesday with Homes by Ashley. And if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any concerns or anything like that, or have any questions about the real estate market, whether it be here in Michigan or just the process of being a seller or a homeowner or even an investor, I am definitely making myself available for you. You all can definitely click the link to send me an email or just shoot me over a text, give me a call. I make myself available, and I'm always taking new clients, and I'm ready to serve each and every one of you with your real estate needs. So this is, again, Ashley Rogers of Homes by Ashley signing off, and I hope to see you all on the flip side. Day and night, all I've got to say